Welcome back to the J Nicole show. Listen, this is a different type of vibe. This is where you tune in and you listen to me talking my ish. So if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It should be over the top. It should be me just doing too much like I like to do. And yeah, it's the Bougie AF channel. Bring you the J Nicole show. So I hope, remember, you ain't heard this from me. And shout out Kim Wayans for being such a visionary. Now, P.S. Please don't get too offended by anything said. I will just claim childhood trauma later on. Enjoy the show. Bye. Welcome back, y'all. Listen, you're tuned into the J Nicole show, and y'all know what we do here. We just talk our ish unapologetically. And so listen, I got two good girlfriends that called me, and this time it was my girl Kay. Now listen, Kay, she be on these blogs like I do, and she be seeing this bullshit like me. So she's my girl. We get on the phone and we be chit-chatting. And so she called me like we usually do. Every other day we talk. And so she called me and telling me about the Smith family. Y'all know Will and Jada Smith. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go down on these people's Instagram streets and see what they're doing, right? So what I think is going on is that they're just telling too much of their damn business. Like, y'all miss the internet era where everybody's putting all their business out there. Y'all miss that. But the fact of the matter is that y'all keep on coming on these damn internets and telling us shit that we didn't know is blowing our freaking minds. Like, it's making me feel uncomfortable at this point. At this point, it's like, can you just leave my thoughts of what it was alone? Can you just leave that alone for me, for my childhood, for just growing up and wanting success and wanting a black successful family? Can you just leave that picture alone? Y'all keep on getting on this damn internet and telling us all of this shit, and we're overwhelmed. I, as the consumer who's supposed to consume all this stuff, is overwhelmed. I'm completely overwhelmed with Will Smith and his family and all their business they done put out there. I mean, from Red Table Talk with Jada and the grandmother, who y'all can see on the far left with the blonde hair, his daughter Willow and Jada. Everybody has been on the Red Table Talk and spilling their guts, okay? This has been like the diary of the Smith family, okay? Like, every week now we are hearing something. I mean, I feel like it started off, I mean, Jada and the mom and the sister and the daughter have to be completely, like, y'all started this. You're like, y'all started the free fall of telling us all your business. Like, I feel at this point, if I took some time and went back and just watched all the Red Table Talks, that, man, I could be y'all family probably historian or some shit, because y'all told it all. We know that the grandmother used to be on the drugs. We know the older brother, he's uncomfortable with the fame and, you know, sometimes not feeling like he's a part of the family because they don't really acknowledge him, okay? We know Jaden left his parents' crazy ass house at 15. He wanted the Emancipation Proclamation type of situation from his parents, because it was a whole lot of something going on. They fucking everybody outside their home, but coming home and acting and pretending like to be this all together family. There was just a lot going on in their home. And meanwhile, Willow over here is cutting off all her hair at a young age, rebellion, finding herself, and polyamory. There's a lot going on in this picture. And that's not even, I don't forget Jada. Jada admitted to being told about her G-spot from her grandmother, showed how to masturbate when she was like 9 years old, really over-sexualized. I mean, we found out in the news she may have slept with somebody from Criss Cross, allegedly. No, just been a whole lot of shit going on. I mean, not even to mention August Alsina. Not even to mention August Alsina had a whole song about being in love with this married woman. Like, then August Alsina was friends with Jada. And that's how he came around the family. And then his mom started fucking on him. I think I would have ran out the house at 15 too. This is a lot. This is a lot. On top of that, you still have Jada still writing love letters to her dead ex-boyfriend, Tupac Shakur. And that's what brought me here, because I was in my saved. I was in my saved items on Instagram, and I was like, I've been meaning to talk about Will Smith and them, because I just feel like I just want to go back to the days where they were just like hosting the BET Awards, and we knew nothing. We knew nothing. All right. And so before we go into like things that have been posted lately, if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. But listen, this is a lot. You can see from my delivery of wanting to get this story out that I've been salivating on this, like, for real. Okay, so here we go. beautiful family, and they're all like really nice people, and we all have our journeys in life. So don't read too much into this. So I understand, like, but shit, this is a Lifetime movie network special. Like, just their family and the shit that they have told us, they could do a Lifetime series based off their family stories. I promise you. Like, you don't even, Adrienne, the grandmother, she doesn't even look like a grandmother, okay? But the fact that she was like so rock bottom, like, you can't even tell. Like, you can't even tell. Like, to be completely honest, you know, some curious people who used to be on drugs, but you're not sure if they still on drugs, but they used to be on drugs because that's what they tell you. But you can tell that they used to be on drugs. She's not one of those people that you could tell that used to be on drugs. Like, everybody who we seen that came forward and said they used to be drugged, you're like, yeah, okay, who mother came forward? I'm sorry, maybe keep it real. Who came forward? It's like, yeah, I can see that. But not with her, right? So when she talks about it, it's like, you can't even see that person. And that's really dope and amazing. But there's just a lot going on here, okay? This is just a lot going on in this. So, you know, we either are getting letters to Tupac on his birthday or his anniversary death. We getting, I think at one point Willow was writing to the nigga. Was Willow writing to Tupac? I think Willow even came out one time, and all this is allegedly. I think Willow came out one time and was writing to him, I wish you were here, Tupac, because my mom loves you so much. And at the time, we were just like, oh, that's kind of cute. But, you know, nobody wanted to really say anything. Because, again, we were still, like, under the guise that this was our first black family. They came out at the BET Awards, like, yes, we're going to bring positivity and stability and black love. Now, they forgot to say black open love, right? But black love, y'all, I mean, I think now you got to be retrospect. Like, I'm going to be serious for 1 second. As I sit here and make fun and talk about this, we also have to sit back and realize how gullible we are, and like how childish and naive we were at some points in our life to just take certain images and certain things that people present and just buy into it. Like, you have to, as a consumer of anything, just like, okay, how did they get that over on me? Like, how was I so convinced, right? And looking back about, you know, whatever my impressions or what my thoughts were of their marriage makes me sit back and realize you really can't be looking at these people's lives. And well, I already knew that. I already knew what you know, I already knew that. But I'm saying for you guys and people like listening, I want people to just, and the young people, sit back and just really look and see how we were fooled, or how you've been fooled by perception and what you what you think, and which aren't facts, right? And how there could be a whole completely different situation going on. So it's just important to realize that, like, no matter what you see, that's why I hate perfectly curated Instagram pages or Facebook pages or people who just post inspirational quotes, especially the ones like, and that's on a personal level. If I'm friends with you and I chill with you, I'm probably not following your Instagram. I'm probably not keeping up with your, and I'm not probably, I know for a fact, I'm not following your Instagram. I'm not keeping up with your life through social media. That's what I'll say. I'm not keeping up with my friends and people through social media, like people who I'm around. I kind of feel like it's an invasion of privacy sometimes, but I also feel like you're going to tell me what you want me to know, right? I don't want to be looking at your life, reading too much into it, because I'm not with you 24/7. But also, I also want to connect and we have something to talk about, and it doesn't feel like, I don't know. I just want it to be as organic as much as possible and not based on social media, you know? So for me, I'm rarely keeping up with like people who I know and what they're doing. And I think also that helps. I think if people took that mindset, it would help you stay in your lane and not be so jealous and so envious and so caught up in people, because I'm gonna run into people, and I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. I put money. I'm gonna run into people, and we're gonna say hi, and they're gonna think like, oh, she don't know what's going on, or and I don't. I don't be knowing. If you don't tell me, I don't know. Like, I'm not someone sitting back thinking that you're not meaning what you say, or or I'm thinking about you in that type of way. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are gonna run into me, and I'm just, you know, oh, where have you been? Oh, have you seen this? Or have you been? No, I haven't, because I don't be watching shit. I don't be watching shit like people think I do. I probably keep up more with like politics. No, and on my spare time, like, because that's the shit that I like to do. I like reading a lot. I read a lot of articles. I do a lot of research, so I'm always pulling up stuff and reading. But but I do a lot of that. I watch a lot of documentaries. I'm into a lot of different things. So I never like, so a lot of times you'll hear me slip up and say I'm always into like Greek mythology and Greek history and stuff like that. I'm really into that. I grew up watching like Xena, Hercules, and all that stuff, and I know those are fictional characters, but please understand when I bring up fictional stuff, baby girl goes back and does the reading for the real shit, right? So I'll go back and find out the history of the country and see how it manifests and where these images come from. Like, I'll do all of that, right? So it's not someone who, and I think I was reading on what pseudoscience is, and which is kind of, I'm paraphrasing, and I read this slow. Pseudoscience, sort of like someone who does not have the grasp of like the subject matter, and that you're less that they'll be able to reference like fictional things like movies, characters, and stuff like that, but not necessarily based on the factual information of like textbook reading and data and science and stuff like that. So they're kind of pseudo in a way of like they know what they're talking about, but they really might not have a grasp of the actual details of a subject matter and like everything that it encompassed, right? So it's someone who's like, I hope you get it from that, but if you don't, let me know. I'll try to explain it more. But so I think a lot of times people will interpret like sometimes the things I speak to and the things I reference as pseudo and not really know like origins or the meaning of things deeply, right? That's not the case over here. Like if I mention certain things, if I mention certain concepts and ideologies, if I talk about like Marxism and capitalism, of course I know capitalism. But if I talk about Marxism, if I talk about a whole bunch of things, please believe I've read about it. Like, and it sucks that I have to say that because if even if it is pseudo, even if my reference are mainstream, if they are the correct references, it lets you know how miserable people are that would want to sit back and try to break you down. I mean, when I say break you down, like break you down as to like trying to find ways to judge you and finding really divisive ways to do it. That's what I would say. Like if someone is sitting back and like, oh, she don't know what that's just pseudo. They're just being divisive and trying to find ways for people to not like you, right? So they have to be that person that points out every little thing. But if the pseudoscience and the references are on point and it's able to gauge an audience like mainstream wise, then it does what it's supposed to do. It does what it's supposed to do. Like it just is what it is. All right, so back to this. So I was like, I am tired. I am tired of Will Smith and his family. I mean, we done found out that Will wanted at one time, I guess his father used to put his hands on his mother. Will wanted to beat the daddy up and thought about killing him. Like, it's been a lot. Like, how did you survive? We thought he was just little Willie from the block. He didn't swear. He talked about his grandmother not wanting to swear and show up in public like that. And like, we thought we had, no, not to say we thought, but I will say this. I can never... I will say this, thinking back about how like we knew what people wanted us to know. Yeah, I think you guys should have appreciated that, the Smith family. I think you should have appreciated it. Y'all most definitely gonna get a movie in the future. Y'all most definitely, with all that shit y'all done told us, y'all most definitely gonna get a movie in the future. Y'all most definitely, there's no way around that. I'm pulling up. And I can't wait till the Braxton sisters really give us the real movie because, yeah, the Braxton sisters and that situation, we get like little bombshell pieces here and there. But it's like, how did y'all survive in the Braxtons? How did y'all survive that? It'd be like, when you find out shit like, damn, Tay-Tay, you went through all that. Like, and even now when she finally, she's doing much better with not, throwing up on the social media. But when she finally writes something, you're like, damn, somebody stole the whole safe, Tay-Tay? Like the whole safe? And then we catch you be entertaining a whole bunch of different folks in your house and shit, and the layouts and shit. Like, was it somebody you knew, or was it just somebody who just knew where your shit was? Like, that should be crazy. The whole safe? They had time to get the whole safe? Oh no! All right, so here goes the story. Will Smith shares his feelings about Will Smith shares his feelings about Tupac Shakur. I hated that I wasn't what he was in the world. I suffered a raging jealousy. I wanted Jada to look at me like that. Let me tell you something. Like if you come get with me and your ex bitch die, and your ex bitch die, and you still stuck up on it. Look, I can help you get there with her. there's ways to get there with her. Like I'm confused because I'm not gonna sit here on the earth being grateful for being alive and be competing with a dead person. That's just me. But I'm an ain't shit ass person at times. But y'all ain't hear this shit from me. Will Smith shares his feelings about Tupac Shakur. I hated that I wasn't what he was in the world. I suffered a raging jealousy. I wanted Jada to look at me like that. Jada would be looking at him like that in heaven. It's like, I mean, I'm confused. The bombshells from the Will Smith just keep coming as the intimate details of his life are once again making headlines. And the latest update involves none other than the iconic Tupac Shakur. In a recently released excerpt from his new memoir, Will Smith reveals that he had a raging jealousy towards Tupac due to his status and very close relationship with Jada Pickett-Smith. Within the last few weeks, Will Smith has been extremely open regarding his consistently talked about marriage to Jada Pickett-Smith. After previously admitting he fell in love with one of his co-stars while filming a movie, to admitting that, listen, like, I mean, this is the first time I read this, so it's like kindred spirits here. Like, we just find out so much. I think he wanted to sleep with Sally Fields. I think that's her name. Allegedly, he came out admitted being attracted to somebody else. Like, it's like, this is a lot. This is a lot. He also came out because Jada got caught because she put it too good on August Alsina. He couldn't get over it, and then we all felt like, damn, Jada, how you gonna embarrass this man like this? But then we found out too that he been out here doing his thing too. But it's just like it's been a lot. After previously admitting he fell in love with one of his co-stars while filming a movie, to admitting that he went to great lengths to please her sexually. He means his wife, right? Yeah, okay. His wife, okay. He has practically laid his entire relationship out for the public to discuss. Keeping with the theme, this latest bit of information from Will involves his feelings about Tupac, specifically how he felt inadequate in comparison to him, largely due to his tight bond with Jada. Let me see here. In a section of his book speaking about Pac, Will admitted that the following: in the beginning of our relationship, my mind was tortured by their connection. Tortured? Damn. He was Pac, and I was me. And I'm not gonna be oblivious. I can see how, like, I mean, at the time when Tupac died, you're with Jada. Like, Tupac is always mentioned, like, and so I can see, like, if you're thinking about your wife and how much you love her, and then you're always having to hear about her ex-boyfriend who's just as famous as you, all these years later. I mean, I can understand it in the beginning. I don't understand it now. In the beginning, I can understand, but I don't understand it now. I mean, you won? I don't know. It's like what do you tell? You won, dog. You won life. You won the chance to breathe. Like, you won the woman. You won the career. Like, you won. Like, you won. But you may have not won her heart. Is that what this is about? Damn. Well, that's gonna take another session on, and we have to talk about that another time. But all these years in, I think you won her heart too. I was in a room with Tupac on multiple occasions, but I never spoke to him. The way Jada loved Pac rendered me incapable of being. Listen, okay, let's get to my co-hosts in the comments because I know they're gonna keep it true. Lord, someone wrote, "Well, just leave, baby. Just go and leave. You'll be alright." Because at this point, okay, so now context is that he has a book and he is promoting his book. And so this is how people promote their stuff. They do talk about, of course, you're going to talk about what's in the book. We've seen Jennifer Lewis do it. So, I mean, this is on par to what you do to promote your book. But okay, I guess it makes sense now. But I mean, it's been a couple years. We've just been getting a whole lot of information. Sigh, man. Silence is the best response. I see no lies. Someone wrote 4,000 people. Well, god damn it, Will. Enough of them. Bro, stop. Goodbye. Enough is enough. Okay, I've seen. Now, y'all, this deep. To love someone knowing they love someone else, then they die. And now you like, they'll never like me like that. Has to hurt. But I don't know. I'm tired. I think that person was trying to say. Was there more? No. Can they stop this already? This is so awkward. Yes, that's how this feels. It's like, I didn't want to know this about you. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't want to know this stuff. Like, protect black love. I'm ready for this book. My copy will be here Friday. Oh, Will, just leave Jada already. He's stressing. And he did come out and talk about dealing with depression and thoughts of suicide and stuff like that. So there's been a lot going on. Will, I'm going to pray for you because now I'm concerned. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at Will, but will they please? Real women would never make her husband feel inferior to anything. And that I agree with. And to be completely honest, as a woman, and this is how I would want my spouse to handle me, how he feels is going to be would be much more important to me. I'm talking about, especially your husband, would be much more important to me than the world knowing about a past love I had for somebody. Like, his feelings around that would mean more than that to me. And I think that's where I feel like, Jada, I do feel like you have embarrassed him completely. I think you should have guarded your past feelings because they are the past. And if this is your husband who was supposed to be your future and the man that you said no matter what that you're never going to divorce, I don't think you continue to keep making him feel a certain way publicly about this. Because you've chosen to be with this man. And I do think it comes off kind of selfish. Because the world and your love for him, we knew that. And we knew, I think to speak on it once would have, years ago, was sufficient. I think the follow-up is where the disrespect comes. I'm not saying never deny what was a part of you once. I think, but the continued follow-up since then, you got your daughter writing to Tupac asking him to come back. I think that has been the problem. And I think outside of everything that you got going on and everything else, this man has never publicly seemed as though he would put a woman before you, right? Because like when he talks about her, his face, like he loves his wife. Like he's always showed that, right? He's never showed up kind of seeming like he's still mourning and yearning for someone from the past. He's never carried himself that way. And I feel like you have did the opposite of that. To be completely honest, I'm not trying to be all up in their business, but if I had to seriously break it down, I would say that Jada is completely wrong, but she's completely wrong for publicly embarrassing him. Like, we don't need to know that you were that still in love with that other man, that other deceased man, right? What else? Because it is ghetto as hell out here right now. There was a story. I was like, these people are crazy. Where is that girl? She done went to the store looking like Rerun, taking off with these people. Stop. Look at her. Look at Rerun right here. Y'all see her? Like, this has got to be out. People are out of their mind. Woman almost runs over Metro PCS employee while trying to escape after stealing 2 iPhones. Not the Metro PCS. They got payment plans. Like, you can pay monthly for these cell phones. Like, what in the world? Now, look at her. Look at her, y'all. Acting like she knew to cover her face a little bit. That's not enough. There's going to be somebody's going to report you. Ooh, girl, you can move. Look at her. Oh, okay. She low to the ground. She took off running. Now, this with that. Look at that shit. She should be ashamed of herself. I don't know. That employee, Okay, you were trying to get employee of the year. You getting in front of cars? Can you imagine being dead in the ground and on your tombstone? I was at work and I ran after an employee behind a phone. I was trying to save phones. You're not putting me in no ground over no dumb shit. You can have that, baby girl. I'm not running. I'm not running. I'm gonna go to the door and I'm gonna write down the license plate, and that's just that on that. Like, I'm not, what? What? Y'all don't own these stores. Y'all don't own this shit. You can't bring it with you. You're going to be dead in the ground. And Metro PCS is still going to be in business. Hey, guys. Yeah. Just step over move the caution tape. Oh, yeah. Come in. That's what's going to continue to happen. Business as motherfucking usual. And you out there in front of a motherfucking car. If that was my kid or somebody I knew, I would smack them. Like, what's wrong with you? There's insurance, okay? Ask them people in Astro World, there's insurance, okay? Okay, like, there's ways to take care of things than you risking your life for things that don't matter. But let's see what the my co-host say in the comments. Giving Melissa McCarthy and Tammy. Okay, yep, Melissa McCarthy. Okay, in the movie Tammy. Okay. Laughing my ass off. Not the different angles that slow ass run. She did look like she was running into the ground. Once they in the car, I would not put my life in no danger like that over an iPhone. I know that job don't pay enough for me to stand in front of a moving car. No, we do not. 4,252 people. They probably, and then the sad part is they'll probably fire him for doing that because they'll be like, okay, you're a liability, and that's liability to my insurance because of your behavior of your over response to a situation. Literally, they'll try to play them just like that. Not her galloping to get out the store because it wasn't running. I'd like to make a public announcement. She does not represent the rest of us in the bonnet community. Thank you. Did she start screaming when she ran? The Metro PCS employees were willing to die for them phones. Ain't nobody willing to do all that. Ghetto. What else is going on out here that's real? We gonna get to the baby, but not yet. Like, you see all these safe poses by the baby, the plan B. Like, this shit is crazy. What else? I love this little duet thing that Johnny Blaze and this person did. I miss girl groups, like real girl groups. I do miss them. Y'all should get together. Like, if it's not working separately, like y'all careers, get together. I think we're missing girl groups, so I think it would hit. And y'all actually sing like real R&B, so it would be different. Like was Changing Faces, Jeanne. Y'all remember them back in the day? We're moving on. And then what's the other one? Hey, Mr. DJ, stop playing with me. I did a little remix of that. Anyway, what else is going on? It's got a toe. Listen, I have a little niece, and she just smart, just like this. Like, this little kid is smart as hell. Look at him. He's funny. Oh. So if you don't know, there's a trial going on for Kyle Rittenhouse, which is a Minnesota teen who went out during the protest and fatally, I think he killed somebody or fatally, like he harmed somebody, he shot somebody, checking to see if the jurors were falling for his fake tears. And so the other day he was in court crying, but it would look just like this with no tears. The internet is crazy. What else? I'm in the wrong saved folder. Hold on a second. Because I'm like, why are we seeing food and stuff? I should be in this one. Yes, I'm a foodie. I save recipes. I be saving restaurants in different cities. Like, I'm going to be in your city one day, and I'm going to go to my favorite restaurant. This Deion Sanders one, I may talk about that another time, but... okay, Will Smith, heart shattered when 15-year-old Jada asked to be emancipated minor. It sucks to feel like you hurt your kids. You think? And then your mama followed it up and slept with your friend? It's like he left at 15 and his mom thought it was not enough. And then years later, she sleeps with his friend that was around? Come on, Jada. That is messy. That's tacky and embarrassing. And I'm not gonna be easy on that because y'all y'all parents, that's the first thing like y'all like to say, I'm a mother. Ain't nothing more important to me than my kids. But then don't show up in the world like that by your behavior. Like, I have no tolerance for that. And that's not to say you got to be perfect, but if he left at 15 and then years later you this dysfunction happening, nothing learned, and you sleeping with somebody who was a friend of his, no. No. What else? This shit was ghetto as hell. Listen to this. Is that, oh, isn't that wonderful? Well, I hear gunshots in my neighborhood every night. My son and I fall asleep to the lullaby of gunshots in the distance every night because I'm the first mayor in over 20 years to be born, raised, and still live in North St. Louis. And it's unfortunate, yes, I heard it, but I didn't flinch because, it's a part of my life now. But we still have much more work to do. It's a powerful example of how we reimagine public safety. Is that, oh, and that. So yeah, that's what's happening in them people, St. Louis, Missouri, right? Gun violence, like, that is crazy. Pure broad daylight. Y'all know people operating in the daytime, officials held in a press conference, and listen to how clear that is, right? So the temperature outside, you have to exhale, stay inside, stay away from big crowds. As we can see, this is just way too much. You got people pricking people in their necks pricking people with drugs. Like, it's serious outside. So don't let people think that, oh, you're not getting back to life, you're not doing enough if you're not outside. No, no, no. Right now, we are still in a pandemic. Right now, mental health and what everybody's been going through these past 2 years is showing up on these streets in terms of people financially not being able to have access to probably income and not going to work. There's a lot of people who quit their jobs. There's a lot of people who don't find it worth it going back to certain jobs. So there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of stealing. Yes, I did highlight that girl stealing that phone, but the temperature out here got me feeling like, I wasn't really outside off the porch in the 90s, but it feels like niggas are sticking you up. Like, you get stick up in a minute. People are busting in people's homes. We already talked about the people busting in people's homes down in them people's Atlanta. Like, that's a real thing right now. So if you're made to feel as if though you're not outside enough, I promise you're not missing nothing except being laid out in some chalk around your body and you being rest in peace. I promise you ain't nothing out there right now. These folks are crack. All right, y'all. I just wanted to come on and give y'all that little bit of gossip. I just don't want nobody else calling me about this Will Smith and his family. It's like dynasty. It's like as the wheel turn. It's just a lot. Like, y'all can be so proud with everything that's been going on in y'all family. Now, if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media. On Twitter, I'm there the most, just talking. I live tweet when I be in Clubhouse. I be in there when I hear points that I don't like. I speak my opinion. If there's somebody on stage I don't like or I do like, or it's not even about a do or don't like, because it's more or less about if you're hypocritical and if you just literally don't make sense and have an opinion about it, right? So I do a lot of that on Twitter, and it's random for me. Whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm reading, I'll go ahead and tweet it. That's just me. All right. So don't forget to I'm on Twitter at I am _ bougie _ AF, and then on Instagram bougie AF _ ish. Bougie as it ish. All right, I'm out, y'all. Bye.